Easy A, which is a smart, very funny teen comedy inspired in equal measure by Nathaniel Hawthorne, Scarlet Letter and John Hughes. So Emma Stone is a smart, slightly sort of awkward, nerdy, goth, outcast heroine about whom rumours circulate that she has had sex. She hasn't, but once the story is out, it's all around the school. Oh, this has happened, blah, blah, blah. And immediately it falls into that thing that you've got to be one thing or another. You've either got to be, completely uptight, or you've got to be a slut. Then what happens is her gay friend says to her, look, since everybody thinks that that's what you are anyway, would you mind pretending to have had a ding-dong with me? Because then it will make people think that I'm straight, and then I will be accepted by the jocks. So she says, I don't want to do that. But then she realises that actually she can help him out. So she does pretend. And the next thing you know, this whole thing snowballs. And the story is about somebody who agrees to pretend to have been with several boys because the boys need to have demonstrated that this is what they have done, whereas she, meanwhile, becomes increasingly isolated by the rest of the school, who all believe that she is behaving in a way which oddly mirrors the plot of The Scarlet Letter, a point emphasised by the fact that she starts wearing on her clothes a scarlet letter. Here's a clip.
The rumors of my promiscuity have been greatly exaggerated. I used to be anonymous, invisible to the opposite sex. If Google Earth were a guy, he couldn't find me if I was dressed up as a 10-story building. Pretty cutting-edge stuff, huh? A high school girl feeling anonymous. Who am I? What does it all mean? Why am I here? Blah. But don't worry, this isn't one of those tales.
What it is, however, is, as I said, smartly written teen comedy that has at its centre a very engaging, sort of a perky, intelligent, wisecracking performance in which the central character is somebody who's on whose side you are completely, because she's smart, because she's intelligent, because she's good-hearted, and because the ostracisation that happens to her happens for all the wrong reasons, but in a way that is dramatically funny. It's a very good performance. There are loads and loads of references to John Hughes. One thing she talks about is, why isn't my life like a John Hughes movie, including the completely out-of-context musical sequence. And during the course of the film, obviously, there are ways contrived to make the John Hughes references. In fact, at one point, they do that clip in which they start playing Don't You Forget About Me. And I actually started welling up. Because because
it's sad.
No, it's not. It's not. It's lovely. It's there is that touch on it. Why isn't life more like a John Hughes movie? At least why isn't hard? Well, of course, for people.
Do you often cry to Simple Minds?
No, I don't like Simple Minds very much, but it was the context of Simple Minds within the context of the John Hughes film. The other thing about it is that it has, there's been an awful lot in the post-Twilight world about the pressures that are on teenagers in terms of the way one should or shouldn't behave in terms of sexuality. This is a film which deals with those issues, does it with very sort of broad mind, but does it in a way which is, again, solidly behind independence, behind the idea that your decisions are your decisions, and it is your right to choose, and it is your right to be the person that you want to be, and it's about dealing with peer pressures in a way that, for example, a movie like Mean Girls would do, very sort of nicely skewering all those, the horrible social interactions that happen at school, the way in which when you're at school people can be really mean-spirited to each other in more so than anywhere else, out in life. But the best thing about it is it's funny and vibrant, and I laughed all the way through. There's a couple of lovely performances. Her parents, her father is played by Stanley Tucci, who is rapidly turning into being the person you would most want as your father, because he does, and your screen father, he does screen fathers really, really well. The script is written sharply. It's obviously been properly edited. The film is made with the minimum of self-indulgence, even as it moves into its later stages, and we start to realise that there are certain sort of John Hughes tropes that they will have to repeat. Even as they do them in a way which is completely knowing and understanding and isn't, yes, it stretches the bounds of credibility, but it's like when you get to that bit in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when he gets up on the, on the float and does the shout sequence. It doesn't matter, you forgive it everything because it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's a really smart, 15 certificate, intelligent teen comedy with its heart in the right place and a very good central performance and thoroughly enjoyable.